Hello my fiber friends, welcome to Knotty Yarnies. My name is Barb and you found me today. It is Thursday, December 9th, and I'm so very glad you found me. Whether you're a returning viewer, thank you, or a new viewer, thank you so much for even taking a second to check my channel out. I hope if you like it, you consider subscribing. I'd love to have you part of our fiber community. This is a crochet version of my podcast. I also have a knit version also. Where I show all my knit things, so I keep them separate. So if you're watching this and you say, oh, I don't crochet, go check out the knit one. It's wonderful. I've got lots of projects on the go there as well. I don't just show one or two things. I'm super duper busy with my fiber arts, so lots to show on there and talk about, lots to show and talk about on here. So I'm Ontario, Canada. That's where I come to you from. So for today's version, crochet version, I have 8 FOs. That's right, 8. And 2 whips. So only 2 whips, but that's not all I have. I have whips, but I have whips that are on the back burner till after Christmas. So you might say, hey Barb, whatever happened to this or that? They're still there. I don't frog stuff because I know when I made it, I was wanting to have that finished object, to have the process of making that object, and I finish. I like that challenge. I like to finish, so I will be finishing them all. It's just a matter of time, but Christmas gifts come first and other things. And getting sidetracked comes also into play, right? So I've got a couple of new things that you haven't even seen before. I have a couple of things that I've showed you the last podcast that I've finished, but I'll tell you as we go along whether I've shown it before or not. So if you wanted to check out as I was making it and for more information, you can choose to do so. I'm trying not to look at my notes too much, but I got to remember what I have previously shown because I don't think I separated into that. Okay, we'll start with the things that you have seen and that I have shown on a previous podcast and I've just finished. I think there's only 2 and the rest are all brand new. Yep, they're all brand new except for the 2, and the 2 that I'm going to show are a larger project. So that's why you can see, that's why they took time to finish. So the first thing I'm going to show is a shawl. Actually, both are shawls that you've seen before. The first one is using this Katya Neon Non-Stop Creativity type yarn. This is another ball. This isn't the color that I'm using. My son purchased me one kit, like it's for a shawl, for a crochet one, and my husband bought me the one that has a knit pattern in it. So this one I'm going to do the knit version. This one I finished my crochet one. So I just wanted to show you that yarn. It's a number 1 weight fine yarn, and I'll show you where I was last time. So last time you've seen where this teapot is, and I did all these rows down. So I'm going to spread it open so you can see it all. But I did all these rows until I ran out of color. I ran at, like, I think I had maybe 2 inches left by the end of it. So here it is. It's a very odd shaped shawl, I must admit, or I did something totally wrong. I'm not sure. But it started at the tip and it grew outwards. So it started with this beautiful purple, and then it kind of marls into the dark purple, marls and mixes the purple with the blue, and then gets lighter till you get into the pink at the bottom. So it's kind of like a kite. So it's almost like 2 triangles together. So there's one triangle here to the middle and then one here. So I couldn't, if I was to show you wingspan, it folds. It folds in half. So it's kind of like a square, I guess. It's really a different type of shape. I don't even know like what you would call this. Would you call it an asymmetrical triangle? Because it's not really a triangle, because it has a point there and a point here, points, but it's beautiful. So I will put it on best I can to kind of show you. It is, oh, I should tell you what what it's made out of, right? I'll tell you what it's made out of in a second. I'm not quite sure. All my ends are woven in, guys, and everything. My dog thinks I'm talking to him. He's looking at me funny. I'm not. I usually stand in the front of the mirror for like 10 minutes figuring out how to put them on or wear them. I'm still learning. This is my first winter that I have shawls even. And if you've been watching for a while, I've probably made about 8 shawls this year. So I've got lots of shawls to try to figure out how to wear them. But this yarn is super light and nice. It's not heavy. It feels so nice and light. So it's more like a nice day shawl, not a cold Ontario day shawl. So it's made of 50% cotton and 50% acrylic. And there's 874 yards in this skein. I think it's, or in this cake. I think it might be 150 grams. It's not telling me grams. Oh, here we go. 200 grams. I'm surprised there's only 200 grams. 200 grams skein, or skein, however you pronounce it. 200 grams to make this shawl. And now you can do it this way. I'll probably end up, I gotta watch my Christmas tree. I'll probably end up wearing it over my shoulders sometimes even. Like to keep my shoulders and everything warm too. Like just like this, and my arms. Or I could go like this and just have it like this. I don't know. There's so many different ways. I don't know. I'll have to look up some videos on how to style your shawl. But yeah, if I was to fold it, like if I was to go tip to tip, it folds in half. Can you see that? So I could choose for it to be purple, or I could turn it around and choose for it to be this and be double the strength. I guess I could go like that. Oh, I like that. What do you think? Yeah, so my son and my husband bought me each a kit. I'm just taking off my stitch marker now that you guys know where I was. My cute little teacup charm. Or teapot. I don't know why I say teacup. There's my teapot. And so thank you, Cowl, so much for my shawl. Now I can wear it. I'm not sure if I need to block it, really. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Do you block cotton acrylic type things? I know if it had more, it's just a very basic stitch. Like I didn't even follow the pattern. I followed the pattern for the increases, but I added in some yarn overs and things in there. And I find that the yarn over holes are opened plenty wide enough, so even if I blocked it, I wouldn't want it any wider than that. But yeah, so that they bought those kits at Wool Time in Ottawa, and that was a deal because they were way more expensive than that before, those kits. So that was a really, really good deal that time. What else can I tell you? Which hook? I used a 4mm hook for that. So if you have any other questions, I can answer just anytime. Ask me down below, private message me. I'm available at Knotty Yarnies at all the places. Not Yahoo. Well, there is a Knotty Yarnies Yahoo yarnies@yahoo.com, but I don't check that one. It's knottyyarnies@gmail.com for email. Knotty Yarnies all together in one, no space, no dot, no dash, no nothing, at Instagram. So that's Knotty Yarnies with nothing in the middle. Knotty Yarnies here on YouTube, Knotty Yarnies Facebook group, and Knotty Yarnies on Ravelry also. You can check out my project pages. They're coming along good. I'm actually really starting to post in there, and that's wonderful. I'm not as active in the groups, but I'm trying to get better at that. But I'd rather spend my time knitting and crocheting and then conversing with you guys back and forth on Instagram or in the comments under YouTube. That's my favorite thing to do. My second FO that you guys have seen previously, last podcast I showed it, is a Christmas gift for my future daughter-in-law. Her and my oldest son. My oldest son is 27 and she is 28. And they've been together since they're 16 years old. He was 16, she was 16, and then she was just shortly after 17, then I think 2 months later, the month later. And they've been together ever since. Yeah, and they've been engaged now. It was 2 years this past October. I made her a shawl that she will love, and for anybody that knits or crochets and works with black yarn, solid black, you know what the saying is. If you get a hand knit or hand crocheted item from someone, you know that they love you, because it is not easy to do all black yarn. It's not easy on the eyes, and I need a new eye. I need my eyes checked because they're giving me trouble. But I'm going to show it to you, and then after I show it to you though, you're not going to see it that great. So I'm going to insert a photo so that you can see something behind it, because the lace pattern shows what it is better in the photo than what you will see here, because I'm wearing black and it's black. So you're not really going to see it too well. If you watch the live that I did with Gina on December 3rd of the Knitting Turnpike, I was live with her for over 2 hours. We had a blast. This is for my daughter-in-law, future daughter-in-law. And it is I found this out from Gina. This is considered, oh my goodness, the cat must have loved it. It is considered a stole. I've been calling it a shawl, and I didn't know what a stole was. So I asked, and they said it's a very long shawl, like a rectangular shawl. So this is very long, rectangular. Over there, like it is over, like I would say it's 7 feet. And I don't know if you'll be able to see. There you go. There we go. But these are all squares. So in total, I have 2, 4, 6, 10 squares. So I have 10 squares and 5 squares long by 2 squares high, but 10 squares all together. So she can choose to wear it around her shoulders, like just like an old shawl, like over your shoulder type thing. Or she could even fold it in half, because in half is just like a long scarf, like it's just thinner, so it will be warmer for her. So she could choose so many different ways. So I'm going to put this down, and then I'm going to talk about it and put the picture up here so you could admire the beauty of it. So this picture, I had to stand on a chair to take it, and it's half the length of my living room. So it's very, very long. My living room's not that huge though, so that shouldn't surprise you. It is made with wool-like, so loops and thread wool-like, black. The colorway is black. It took 8 balls to make that, the whole thing, because I held it double. So one ball pretty well did 2 squares. Like if I held the inside strand and the outside strand together, it made 2 squares. And there's a little piece left. But yeah, I held it double. And then when I was done, and I just mattress stitch all the squares together. I love mattress stitching. And then I did granny stitch all around the outside to kind of just tie it all together. Then I sewed all the ends in and did all that before I took the photo. So where you can find this, this is a free pattern but if you want a PDF or something, it is it is $6.86 on Etsy. And you look for, on Etsy, her name is Marietta Roy. I'll put the name on the screen down here, Marietta Roy. But I watched the video. So Fiber Spider, he did a video in 4 parts doing the square. So it's one square, has the 4 skulls on it, okay? And it's a 15 rows. Rows? No. 15 rounds. So it's round and round and round. But there's 2 different versions. You could do the one that I did that is square and that has 4 skulls on it. Or you could do a triangle scarf or blanket, and as it grows like this, there's more and more skulls, and you're working across this way. So you're totally doing a different pattern altogether. So there's 2 different ways. So what I did, because I knew I was doing like at least 8 squares. I didn't know I was having to do 10 at the time, but I knew I was going to do at least 8 squares. So the first time I watched the video through, I watched it through and I took notes. So I wrote out the pattern by hand. So whatever Fiber Spider did, I'm sorry, I forget his first name. I want to say Craig, but I don't know if that's really his name. But I wrote round by round, I wrote it out so that I had it for each other time. And then if there was something that I wanted to know that I wasn't sure if I was going to remember the way I wrote it, I did in brackets to remember this, or where to put your hook, those kind of things. And what else can I tell you about that? Oh, it's called the Lost Souls. So you'll look out S-O-U-L-S, Lost Souls, shawl or squares or blanket. They're all by the same designer. They're just all just a little bit different on, there's a scarf one, so you can make a skinny scarf, but I absolutely adore this. I actually am thinking of making her a tablecloth one day, maybe after they're married or something. Maybe she really loves black, so maybe I'll make it for, I don't know, a dresser scarf or something like that for her eventually too. We'll see how this goes over, because she's a person who doesn't show emotion very much, so I don't know. Hopefully, if she says a lot of words, I know she really likes it. So if she's very quiet, then it's kind of iffy. Well, do you like it? Don't you like it? I'm not sure. But I'm 75% sure that she's going to like it. At least I know she'll like it because it's black and has skulls. That's all. So fingers crossed, toes crossed that she loves it. So that was the Lost Souls square. My next, which order should I do? Okay, my next thing, they're both the same, but different yarns and different sizes. So my next one is 2 pairs of crochet moccasins. And the pattern is by Yarnspirations, but Mikey over at the Crochet Crowd has a YouTube video for that. You just type in search on YouTube for the Crochet Crowd crochet moccasin slippers, and they will come up. They're gray. It'll show gray in his pattern, and with somebody with their feet in them. But I've made at least 40 pairs of these moccasins. I've actually made 5 or 6 pairs just for the people that live in this house right now. like my husband and my son. My other son I've made a pair for too, but my husband and my son that lives with me have worn through 2 pairs already, so they needed another pair for Christmas. So I did my son's, and he's got we've all lost a bunch of weight, and you lose weight on your feet as well. So his ones from last year or 2 years ago are too big on him, like he trips over them. So I had to go down. So he used to be in a size 13, now he's in a size 11. Just like me, I used to be in a size women's 11, now I'm in about a 9, 9.5, depending if my feet are swollen. So I followed the pattern. I did the men's size large, well, just size large. They don't go men's, women's, that kind of thing. So the size large, Mikey has used Burnout Chunky yarn, but I use Burnout Blanket yarn. So I'm hoping my son likes the orange. So this is Pumpkin Spice Burnout Blanket yarn. The big ball that you get will make 2 pairs of slippers. What can I tell you about this? This is Pip Squeak yarn around the outside, and it's just white. It uses a slim amount. The pattern that Yarn Inspiration puts out, they have it on the outside as well as the inside of the slipper, but as you see, I don't have the inside. I tried that once, but the inside, when it's in the inside and it's white, it gets really gross looking. It doesn't look very nice at all. And this is warm enough, plenty warm enough. So I just like it to look like this. I don't care for it on the inside. I put a tie all around here before I put the white, and I tack it down. Mikey doesn't do the tacking down like I do, but I sew the ends in so that my son, if he needs to pull it tighter, for it to be tighter around his foot, he can do so, or he can loosen it up as well. I've also before used ribbon, used some twine. I've used all different things. I've used chained yarn, like used yarn and just made chains out of it, because sometimes if you pull too hard, these might break. But I haven't broken any myself. But the pattern has you make the slipper, and then it has you make this part that's on the top, and then you sew them together. But I do the top piece first, 2 of them, and then I do the slipper myself. So the difference between this slipper and the one Mikey does, so he uses the Burnout Chunky, which is also a 6-weight yarn, but this is a lot thicker. The gauge is a lot thicker. So I use a 8mm crochet hook, and I'm not sure, I think the pattern calls for 6.5, but I use 8mm. I also did a size large, followed the instructions for the size large, except there's a rows 8 and 9. You do repeat row 7 or something, but there's this row 8 and 9 you do, and you're just single crocheting around the whole foot. But if you do both of those rows, it ends up really tall in the foot. Like you can see how tall this is. When I put my hand in there, you would see how tall that is. If I was to do another row, it would be really large, really thick. So I omit one of those rows around. That's the only thing I change about the pattern besides the yarn and the hook size. When I do something like this, and I do a lot of them, I take notes so that next time I know my gauge. So, okay, I used this, did this size, I started with this many chains, I used this hook, I used this yarn, and the foot measurement ended up at 11 inches long. So that next time, if I was to go, oh, I need to make a pair for somebody whose foot is 12 inches long, I know that I would have to go either up a hook or a yarn size, or I would have to go and up the size in the pattern to the extra large instead. So I hope that helps you. I'm going to show you mine as well, but this was the Burnout Blanket. So it's by Yarnspirations pattern, the Crochet Crowd. You could click on their video for the moccasins, and under their video is the PDF. It's free to download, to print, and it has all the instructions. You don't have to watch the video, but the video is very helpful. It's always helpful for me. Okay, said everything about his. Now mine, I just finished. I didn't do the pipsqueak yarn around mine. I will tell you why in a minute. I used for mine Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick, and the color is Cabernet. It's got a sparkle in there, eh? Look, my bag matches it too. And here are mine. You're going to see quite a difference. Well, in size, and because there's no pipsqueak yarn in mine. Okay. I forgot a tail to cut the tail off. I did sew that in. It's just I forgot to cut it off. But I did the same with this. I went around the heel part so that I could pull the bow so I could tighten it. But for mine, if you notice a little difference, I did a little bit taller around the ankle part here. So instead of adding the fluff just around there, I added more rows, so I have more like a little mini slipper boot type thing. So all I did, instead of just going around and not having that, is I built up. I just kept going around and around. I did it 3 more extra rounds just around the foot here, so not around here. So I did for mine, I did the size medium, and I still used an 8mm hook. So what the difference is between a medium and a large is the medium you start with X amount of chains. So I think I start with 15 chains with this, and with the large you start with 17 chains, and it's the same increases and things like that. I recommend using bobby pins or stitch markers, whatever you use. 3 of them, one for your starting stitch, and just follow his instructions on his video because he tells you where to place them so you don't have to count. It is a saver, I tell you. It saved me so much that I've written the pattern out and wrote down where to put the stitch marker so that I remember every time I do it. I don't have to watch the video. I can just remember, oh yes, you put your stitch marker in this stitch, get back around to that. That's where you start your increases so that you know all that information. So I can't wait to get these on my feet. I waited till I recorded to wear them. So I can't wait to put them on my feet because my feet are always cold. So these are a gift for my son for Christmas, my youngest son. He specifically asked me for some because his are too big, so they will go to his dad. So, and these are mine. My husband also, his is over there beside his chair. His are like a marled color, black gray kind of color. And his pipsqueak yarn is actually gray that I found to match his. So I love, love, love making these. I could whip the pair of these out in a half a day. So they're wonderful. Any questions about those? Just ask me down below. I don't mind answering. Now the next few things I have are finished objects as well. And I just brought out a bunch of yarn that I got a package of from Wool Time last year. And I really, really liked it. It's called Patons Decor, or Patons. I think it's called Patons Decor. In the colorway let me think here. Hoja multicolor, or Hoja. Hoja multicolor. It's grays and beautiful green and white. Oh, it's beautiful yarn. It's 75% acrylic and 25% wool, made in Turkey. 100 gram balls, and I had 6 of these, and I love it. It keeps you super warm, not as warm as 100% wool, but there's just enough wool in here to make you warm, but also make it so that it's machine washable and you don't have to worry about hand washing. So I love this yarn. So I have 3 more left, and I'm going to tell you after I show you these projects what I have in store for the remainder of the 3, because this is going a long way. How much? 100 grams, like I said, but I'm looking for yardage. Oh, there's only 208 yards in it. It's number 4 weight yarn, 208 yards, but I'll tell you, it goes a long way. You'll see why. So the first thing I made following MJ's off the hook design. Her name is Michelle. She's a fellow Ontarian like myself, and she has a YouTube channel, so go check her out. MJ's off the hook design. Let her know Barb sent you. She'll be like, who's Barb? You could say Knotty Yarnies though. And she's every day this month of December, she has for Advent, she is putting out a video, a how-to video of a mini ornament, Christmas ornament, holiday ornament, whatever you want to call it. So today I decided to make her, well, yesterday I decided to make her little Christmas tree. So I don't know if you can see it very well. It's got a, she calls for a cinnamon stick in the middle. I just went out and grabbed a stick out of off the ground that was still there. It was a dried out stick already, and I glued that in, and I put a wooden bead on there, and it's a little bauble tree. It's so cute. So now I can, where can you see if I put it? Ooh, maybe I'll put it right where this hat is, and I'll just move this hat. Can you see it right there? Sure you can. And I'll move my little knit hat. I'll just move it elsewhere. There we go. Snowplow just went by. I wonder if that means it's snowing. Okay, so like I said, I did a few things with that yarn. So the first thing I did was I went online and I was looking for a crochet bandana style cowl. I found knitted ones, beautiful knitted ones, but I just wanted things to show you guys and something quick to work up because it's starting to get cold, and I wanted something around my neck, that not a shawl that I had to fuss with and try to figure out, just something I could quickly throw on to go out with the dog to go out for a pee, or to go to the gym, back and forth to the gym where I'm just going in the car, you know, and coming home. So I couldn't find anything that I liked, so I made up my own pattern for it. So I plan to do a lot of typing up patterns in the new year. So if ever anything you see that I say I'm going to type up and you're really interested in it, please ask me and let me know, because it gives me more incentive to do so. I am in the process of working up my pocket shawl scarf thing that I showed last podcast, the crochet one. I'm trying to do it in 2 different yarn weights. I might get to where I could do more, but I'm trying to do it in, I did it in a chunky weight, but I'm trying to convert it to a number 4 weight, because I had someone, Carrie, ask me for something that's a lighter weight version. So I'm going to do it in a number 4 weight as well, which is worsted weight. So I wanted it to have some options as well. So I will be getting testers needed. I need to type it up. I need to do all that stuff. But that's in the new year, because there's a whole plan for the new year this year. So here is my cowl bandana. So it is, as you see, the front is the granny stitch, right? And then it has a little bit of a turtleneck type, so it's tighter, going to be tighter around my neck. I'm going to show you what it looks like after I show you the little detail also. So I left it like that. So I did the bandana and I did this around. I put it on and I realized, oh, see, this is only 2 inches. I didn't want it any more up here. I didn't want it any more bulky. You'll see why. I would have had to fold it a bit down, or it would have been really chunky there. But at the same time, around the back of my neck, it was only this much, and it wasn't covering where my t-shirt was, so my neck was bare. So I said, oh, that doesn't make any sense to me. I'm going to be cold there now. So it didn't make any sense. So what I ended up doing was this, coming up with this on the back. Oh, can you see that? Let me stick a piece of paper so you can see it, what I did. I'll just put a piece of paper so you could tell the difference between the front and the back. There we go. Oops. Trying to even it out. Sorry guys if I'm making you dizzy. So there's the back of my neck. So that's going to cover, and it does. It goes right down, so if I have a lower cut back t-shirt or sweater, it comes right down on the back of my neck. So I'll show you what it looks like on. There we go. I wanted it a little tight to my neck, but not super constrictive. Constrictive? Is that a word? Constrictive? I don't know. And yeah, so I wanted just to look a little fancy and nice, so I made this. So let me know what you think. I would love to hear your opinion. I wish I had this yarn in other colors, varieties. I do have some other that are similar, but they're all like variegated yarns. I would love a solid. So then when I made this, I'm like, well, I need something for my head that matches. So I went ahead and I made myself a hairband, headband, ear warmer, whatever you might call it, to match. There's my screenshot for the cover. See, I could go. Yeah, so I made the ear warmer. I call it headband usually, but that's probably not correct terminology. But yeah, so I wanted them to match. So they not just match with the color, they match in the stitch pattern as well. So I liked that part. And then I kind of kept thinking, what else am I going to make? What else am I going to make? So I really want to make a pair of mitts so they don't have to match this. I might even knit them so that they're warm enough, but I'm not positive yet. If I knit them, I might even make myself some fingerless mittens that have the granny stitch as well, so that it is a matching set, but I also can make a knit pair to go back and forth too if it gets a little bit cold. Next, I wanted something similar to something I've knitted in the past, that I've knitted. So I crocheted a version of it, and this is my hat. Now, you will see how the pooling up here is going up here and how the pooling is different down here, right? Okay, now I'm going to amaze you in a second. Now check it out. The pooling, right? Or you can fold it up and have your ears covered. Okay, so see, the pooling is all the same. Or this is so many options for you, right? Or fold it up again with that kind of color pooling up here and this color pooling down here. So here's what it looks like worn. You can wear it like this, so it's over your ears with the brim, or I can take the brim down and then have it just over my ears and have it slouchy. Hope you could see that. Can you see it? I hope so. Sorry, it's hard to know if you can see or not. Yeah. So you could have it all different ways, all different colors. I just thought this was super duper cute and fun, and I haven't seen anything out there like this in the crochet world, so I enjoyed this totally. So if this is something that interests you, so what this basically is this yarn, so it's a number 4 weight heavy yarn, crocheted, and it is, there we go. So I did certain things to make this pattern and certain things to do this pattern. Okay, so it was such a fun crochet that now I want to do it in all the colors. I so want to do it, and it's so duper, so now it's when you put it inside each other, it is double thick around your ears already. So you know how when you take a normal hat and you have to fold the brim over, like here, I'll show you on one of my knitted hats. So my knitted hat, okay, and normally you would need to fold the brim over, and you would just have 2 layers if you folded it over. Well, you have 2 layers without folding it over. Then when you fold it over, you actually have 4 layers over your ears, your forehead. So super duper warm, like really, really warm. Yeah, you'd almost be, if you're a person that gets overheated, you might be even too overheated, right? But just love this pattern. I love it. So if anyone is ever interested, I am calling this set is my Peterborough set. I go for family Christmas, and our family lives in Peterborough, Ontario, and I thought it was just fitting that I called this set my Peterborough set. So this is my Peterborough hat. I'm not just calling Peterborough hat. I want to call it Peterborough Versatile or Peterborough Mismatch or something like that hat. I haven't ironed out the fine details yet. This is the Peterborough ear warmer, and this is the Peterborough bandana cowl. And then I'm going to be making Peterborough fingerless mitts, and then my set will be complete. Oh no, and I want to make Peterborough pocket scarf as well. And that'll be a whole little series, I guess, like a little ebook or something that I eventually would like to get out there in the world. So let me know down below, or email me any ideas or names if you think that one is a silly name or something. I really would like to keep the Peterborough in there. But I'm open to suggestions. And also, if you want to be a tester or anything of any of my patterns, certain ones, let me know. I will keep track, even if it's like a few months before. So like, say I'm not releasing it until to testers till March. If you let me know you want to test the certain thing, you can let me know, and then I will keep a list. And then when it comes that time, I won't even have to ask if there's enough people that are interested to test out of my viewers, because I would actually rather it be viewers that get a chance to do those kind of things to help me out, because I know it's people that are here for me and wanting to work with me and are fiber friends of mine, and we all have each other's best interests at heart. So you're not going to just take the pattern and give it to everybody you know, right? You're going to say, this is Barb's pattern, and you're going to just do it and then spread the word once it's released into the public. My second last project is a baby blanket that I am making. It's just one of the gifts I'm giving to, we're going to the family Christmas in January, and the same weekend they're having a baby shower for our cousin, and she's having her first baby, and they got married in 2020, and so this is super duper exciting time. So I wanted to make something handmade special. I didn't have a lot of time, but I knew I wanted to for sure make her a baby blanket to go along with a couple other things that I had purchased and something else I had made her a while back already. So I'm making her a baby blanket out of Lion Brand big ice cream scoop yarn. Ooh, that's blowing out a little bit. I caked it up, and my Knit Picks cake ball winder actually took the whole ball. Like, I made a couple squares and then I wound it and it took the whole ball. I was like, oh, it's not even supposed to hold that much, but it did. So it is, the color is called Mint. So it's those ice cream, Lion Brand ice cream scoop, great big ones. It is a 10-ounce ball and 1,117 yards for the ball. So it's very, very large. So I pull from the inside. Okay, so what I normally do is I stick the little tag on the outside of the ball so it stays in there. Because if I stuck it in the inside, it would get pulled out. So I put that in the bag, and then I'm making the squares. So I did one similar for her wedding gift, just in all neutral browns and beiges, but I'm using the mint green. They don't know what they're having, so it could be a boy or a girl. So we chose to make the mint green. I think that will be a big hit. I just have to block the squares before I put them together, but I got a stack of them going. I got 1, 2, I've got 5 of them made so far. And I want it to be, there to be 9, and I match stitch them together, and then I'm going to do a border around as well. So, yep, I got a stack. I did the mom and dad, I did for their Afghan for their wedding, I did it like a weighted blanket. So I did the same pattern, except instead of just the double crochets across, I did all front post double crochets where there were just double crochets, and it made it really, really thick and dense and really, really heavy. Like, oh my gosh, the blanket must be at least 15 pounds. At least 15 pounds. Like, it's large. It's 25 squares, 26 squares. I can't remember how many squares there were, but I figured this would be the same, but not the same. So, yeah, me and my husband chose that to go, but I'm putting this aside until all my Christmas stuff's all done, because I know I can get this done like the week before. So just after New Year's, it'll get done. I used a 4, did I use a 4? I used a 5mm, I think. I didn't write it down. I did a big oops. I usually have my notes in my podcast book, but I didn't cast on before my last podcast. It's something that's new, so you haven't seen it, but I didn't write it down, so I don't know if it was a 4mm or a 5mm. So I guess I'll be figuring that out when I check my gauge. And it's a number 3 weight yarn, so that's why I'm thinking it's a 4mm I used, but it's very open and airy, so I'm kind of suspicious that I might have used a 5mm even, because the 4mm might have made it tighter and more condensed, because I do remember going up a hook size, so we'll see. My next and final whip. Okay, so on my last episode of my crochet podcast, I did rounds 1 to 10 of the Crochet Crowd in their book, The Study of the Journey. Is that what it's called? 1 second. It says Study of the Journey. Study of the Journey. And there's Mikey there with his blanket. And I'll find a better picture of the blanket so you can see it in its beauty, because it's gorgeous. His is all in different shades of blue. Beautiful, beautiful. So each Wednesday, starting on November 3rd, and every Wednesday since, and up until December the 22nd is the last one out, he does a video. So the pattern is in his book that you need to purchase, okay? And there's the pattern in written form and diagram form, if that's your jam. And he wanted to do a YouTube video to go along hand in hand with the pattern. The book was only $17.99 Canadian, so it's an amazing deal because it's the only book they're putting out. There's no plans for another book at all ever. There is patterns in here. There's Mikey's story of his journey, for his crochet journey, and where it's all taken him, and just an amazing read, amazing thing to own. Hopefully one day I could get him to sign this. I already have his signature, his autograph on a crochet hook, but I hope to one day be able to get his autograph on this as well. So this is not like this is a crochet along I'm doing, but it's like an informal one. There's no prizes or anything. It's just released every so often. But you learn so much by doing these, because you have the video, you have the diagram, and you have the words to all go hand in hand, and that's how you learn. So even if I wasn't looking at the diagram to actually do the project, I look at the diagram after I watch the video and then see how the words are written, and then look at the diagram to see how it all goes together in my brain. So it's really, really cool. I've learned so much about diagram reading in crochet because of Mikey. Just his style of teaching is amazing. It really, really is. Everything I learned about crochet, everything I've learned from this man. He's amazing, blows me away. His teaching just, it resonates with me. Maybe you learn different than I do and somebody else is a better teacher for you, but this man right here is the best teacher for me. I learned everything from a chain stitch all the way to cabling and reading charts and everything, color work and everything from him, and tips and tricks. He's got so many different tips and tricks. So I've done up to and including, so today was the clue. Today's Wednesday, or actually yesterday was Wednesday, but I've stayed up all night. Today's Thursday, but I've been doing the clue that was released yesterday. It's not really a clue because it's not a mystery, but the rows for today yesterday were rows 38 to 46, and I'm on row 43, so I'm almost done, but I had to gather all the stuff to do all my podcasts, set up the lighting and the camera, do all the things, so I didn't get quite done what I wanted to before I record, but this is the last time I could record before next week, my last opportunity. So I want to show you. So last time, 2 weeks ago, I did rows 1 to 10. So here is where I was. It was just this circle. See where this stitch marker is? It was this yellow circle and everything in the middle that you see in there. So it was a circle, and it continued to be a circle for 2 more weeks after that. So there's the circle that it was for 3 weeks. And then last week, it switched to be a square. So see the blue? That all was done last week's clue. Now this week's clue, minus 3 rows? Yeah, minus 3 rows is where you see the purple and the pink now. Look at that square, all the stitching. Look at the stitches. Oh my goodness, they're like little leaves. And then look at the ones down here. These are called shark fins down here. All the stitches I'm learning is crazy. It's so good. Oh, it looks so good on screen. Oh, I did it just to learn. I wasn't doing it to keep the Afghan, but now that I'm looking at it, oh, I think I'm keeping it. It is turning out beautiful. I'm making it with yarns that I just got 1 pound bag of a color of like probably Red Heart Super Saver yarn, honestly, just in different colors. But like, it's not soft yarn by any means, but it would keep you warm and toasty, that's for sure. It's beautiful. And to look at it, it's gorgeous, and it would hold up. This would stand up, this blanket, for sure. But oh, it looks gorgeous. So I did this like dark blue. There's a gray in here. There's a mustardy yellow. There's like a heathered beige. Then this bold pink, which I love. And those are all the colors. Yeah, just love it. Like, look at the flower part here with the petals. You go up, do these spiky things, and you're going around with the purple. That kind of looks like a wagon wheel in the middle, but those, oh, look at this stitch. This was fun too that week. Oh, all of this was so much fun to learn. It really, really was. I highly recommend this. The Study of the Journey. Now, he has one starting in January into February-ish. He's not quite sure when it's going to be available, but it's just, I don't know if there's prizes for that one either. To me, the prize when I'm doing them with him is the learning. That's the prize. His time spent, like this was like probably hundreds of hours, because he made this pattern up himself. Like, I can imagine the math skills it takes to make that. Oh, just beautiful. One more show. I got to take some photos of that too. So this is quite fun. I'm really, and I'm glad that my husband got me this big bag that I showed you before from Fabricland. It's humongous. It's huge. It fits like, it has, right now it has the 6 like 1 pound balls in it, but it could easily fit like 12 in there. Very, very easily. Okay. So the last part I'm going to show you is the things I've acquired, acquisitions. I'm not going to show a whole lot of stuff. I showed some on my knitting podcast as well. I split them, things I thought that were more pertaining to knitting on the knitting, and this one it will be more crochet. I also am going to be releasing my video from Wool Time. It's a yarn haul that I bought. Beautiful, beautiful different wools and sock yarns and things from Wool Time in Ottawa a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to do that as a separate yarn haul video because it deserves like a whole video for itself because they're beautiful. My husband bought me a bag of all of these different yarns for Christmas, early Christmas of course, but for the next year I'll be making myself things with all the different beautiful yarns. So I picked and chose what yarns for what projects while I was there, so I knew exactly what I was making with each thing. So here we go into the few things that I have got. I showed this on my knitting podcast, but I want to show you guys too that I got this from, oh, did I keep the tag in here? No, it's in the other one. This is Just So Fun. Just So Fun? 1 second. I have her tag. Here it It's So Fun, S-E-W, so it's So Fun over on Facebook. So go to the Facebook group, It's So Fun, and she sells online. She'll work with you. I don't know where all in the world she'll go, but this bag here she made, and it was at a winter craft show. See, it says winter, beautiful, beautiful, large. This is a sweater in here, and there's still lots of room. I have it puffed out, but I don't need to even squish it down. $50 for this. $50 for this handmade beautiful bag. Then I got this backpack one. See those handles? It's got pockets. See here on the front? These are all pockets. Then these are all pockets and behind it. Then on the inside, it's all pockets on the inside, the same as here, all the way around the inside. So you could put needles or pens, your makeup, whatever you're using, your wallet, your chapstick, whatever, in the pockets that are inside. This is so well made. This was $40. Now, of course, her prices could differ. Things are going up in price. Yeah, and shipping costs. And there's also a toggle, I guess it's called, that you can close that so it's nice and tight. There's a handle here, so you can like hang it on the wall or on your door if you want. You could even use this as a bingo bag. Like put all your bingo dabbers all around in here, and then you could put your lunch and your tape and your whatever else, your phone, everything else in the middle part. And bring your crochet along with you to the bingo or to the doctor's or wherever. Just quick to grab. Now, the rest are not very much. I don't have very much to show you. Like I said, most of it's the yarn haul. I got another, because I had a 30% off coupon, and who could say no to a 30% off coupon? Oh, I'm noticing something really cool. But this is one of the Karen Big Anniversary Cakes. The huge one that's bigger than your head. That's usually $40 in Canada with 30% off. Was $28 plus tax. It's 1,000 grams, number 6 weight yarn, 1,061 yards. And there's no wool in these. I don't know if there was in the anniversary cakes last time. Didn't think there was. But this color is called Scuba Splash. I'm not going to open it, I'm sorry, but you've probably seen it on other people's podcasts with all different depths of blue. I'm not opening it because I'm not sure how long it'll be before I use this. So I want to keep as much dust off as I can, right? And then the next thing I got was at the secondhand store. So I managed to find a shawl in the ball at the secondhand store. All in blues. It is color Wind Chimes. Number 4 weight yarn, and this was like $1.99. I couldn't leave it there for $1.99, right? And then I found these. This was in a bucket for $1.99 as well. I didn't realize that it's from the dollar store for $1.50, but I think the can itself is $1.50 to buy, not the contents. So this is full of buttons. All different wooden buttons. And I know for a fact that I've purchased these wooden buttons in a package at the dollar store, like 8 of them for $1.50. So I know that this container did not come full of these buttons for $1.50. But I think at the Value Village they thought, oh, you could buy these at the dollar store for $1.50, so we better not charge too much more than that. Like, I would have paid $4.99 for that. That's a lot of beautiful buttons in there for that price. I can't wait to dig in there and check out all the different buttons. Beautiful, hand-painted. Like, they're just beautiful in there. So I couldn't pass that up. I go through lots of buttons, like especially making my hanging towels. And then the last thing I'll show you is something that I've wanted for the last 4 years, I guess, maybe 5. I go to the craft show that I was telling you about, the winter Christmas craft show. It's called Christkindlmarkt, and it's a German craft sale that is just up the road from my house. Every year they've had it for I don't know how long, but there's people that are there. So they have a card, and it's called Classic Wood Crafts. Now it's local to me, so I don't know, but they had told me if anybody reaches out and wants any information, I can give it to you. And maybe that you could arrange something being shipped to you or something like that. So his name's Basil, and he does woodworking things, and she is the wife and does crocheting stuff. But I didn't like, I guess they mix their craft together because she does a lot of crocheting. So he makes crochet handles. I'll take it out. I haven't even had it open yet. He makes the crochet handles, I guess. And there is different tips. So there's one tip there and 2 different size tips here. So these are an H or an 8, which is a 5mm, and a C/2, which is, I don't know the millimeters. I'll have to write these down. And then this one that's in here is a G, which is a 6, which I know is a 4mm. ABC. That C might be like a 2mm, 2.5. I'm not sure. But yes, I got this set. But I got this set because I also bought a box, like of interchangeable, the same people. But she told me there wasn't a 5mm in the set. So I purchased this set just to have the 5mm, which I end up finding out when I got home that this had a 5mm in it already. So now I have this little extra set, but I'm going to throw this set in my to-go bag so that I always have it with me. And this one will stay home. So here we go. I just got to figure out how to open the box. Oh, here we go. How to open it. Oh, here we go. I had it upside down. So here is the handle part. And it has, see the little tip on it there? And then any of these sizes fits in there. So I'll show you this closer up. This is like a beautiful, like marble blue type. Maybe I should hide that price tag. Can you see that? And yeah, it comes with a 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. So which is a D, E, F, G, H. So this starts with a D, which is a number 3, and in this one it has that one that's a C, which is a number 2. So this in here has one that I don't have in this kit. So I'll have the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8, and yeah. So the other 2 I already have. I have the H in the kit, and I have the G already in the kit. So I'll put the C one in this kit, and then I'll have 6 interchangeable heads. I'm not sure how it is to work with yet. I'm hoping good, because like it wasn't real cheap, but it was a very good price in my mind. But it's got a thick handle, so I'm hoping it's nice to work with. As I was saying, I've went there for the last 4 or 5 years, and this company, these folks were there, and I've been eyeing up this set for that long, but I kept saying, oh no, 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 I don't have the money, I don't have the money, don't have the money. 2 years ago, 2019 Christmas, I was like, oh, I should have got that. And I was going to go back the next day because they have it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then I totally forgot on the Sunday to go back. So fast forward to 2020, there was no show whatsoever. And I'm like, oh my goodness, they're not having one. I don't even know the people's name. I could have ordered it from them. And then this year they had one. It was very limited. You had to show make sure you're vaccinated, fully vaccinated, everything before you got in. So I was able to get in, no problem. I was actually the first one in the door as they opened the door, signed in, did all the pre-stuff, washed hands, all that stuff. And it's the first table I went to grab it. And I said, I've been waiting 2 years to get this. So I said, that's coming home with me today. So I was super excited, and she was excited to know that how excited I was as well. So I'm happy. I don't know how they work. They've got quite a different tip on them than what I usually use. So that I'm kind of interested to see. Maybe I'll love these even more. I'll show you. It's got more of a deeper. Well, let's see if I can show here. Let's see. Hope you can see that. Do you see that? It's got quite a deep. I hear these type of hooks are great for when you're doing that stitch that looks like knit and you're trying to go in between the stitch instead of going in the top of the stitch and in where you normally go. You go in the front of your work in between the V. And it makes like a knit stitch, but it's tough to do. But I'm thinking with these type, I'm going to have no trouble to do that stitch. So I'm excited and can't wait to try these. So, okay, well, that's it for now. You probably see the snowman and my little hot chocolate mug if you're watching me on with Gina, the Knitting Turnpike. I showed my different ornaments. This hangs on my tree normally. I just thought I'd bring it out to show you. You could make this into a pin cushion. Leave the marshmallows off the top. They're not real marshmallows, just so you know. But you can leave the marshmallows off and you could just say it's coffee, like a latte. And inside you can put one of those silver scrubbies balls that scrub dishes. And you could use this as a pin cushion. And every time you put your pin in and pull it out, it's actually cleaning and sharpening your pins to keep them nice and sharp for you. Just a little information for you. So if anybody's interested in that pattern, it's a free pattern online and I can give you the link. And same with this beautiful little snowman. Another free pattern and I can give you the link if you're interested. He was very, very fun. And the Christmas tree that's here as well. I show that on previous podcasts. It's also a free pattern for the size small. If you watch the video of MJ's off the hook designs. Yeah, I'm a little obsessed with her stuff. She does. She's a great teacher. She's a wonderful woman. She's one of the people that does with Crochet Foundry magazine. She's wonderful. She's so kind and generous. I've tested for her before a few times and she still to this day remembers me. So I'm truly humbled and honored to test anytime she wants me to. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. If you're new and you haven't already, I would love it if you liked it to consider subscribing. And I've got more videos than just podcasts. I do yarn haul videos. I do how-to tutorials. I do a bunch of different things. I do tips and tricks and a whole bunch of different things. So yeah, and next year the next 2 weeks I'm going to release a video, I think, that's going to talk about what next year has in store for Knotty Yarnies as a channel and what that might mean for you and yeah, just what it might mean for all of us, what we're going to go through and make plans. So, and I don't usually make huge plans unless I follow through. take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy New Year, happy whatever you choose to celebrate. Winter, summer if you're in the southern hemisphere, whatever you choose to celebrate or not celebrate, I'm here for whatever it is you would like me to be here for. So take care, everyone, and keep on being naughty. Bye for now. Happy crocheting, everyone.